Islam is a good religion. Even for me, as a Muslim, this is the best religion in the world. And we know that there are two types of Muslim. Good Muslims who are true Muslims and bad Muslims who are not. However, people tend to judge the whole Muslim community that they all are bad and evil, so that they treat them all badly. Hi, I'm Jihan. In this presentation, I'm going to explain more about Islamophobia in French with my friends Hasan and Ashof. We are going to divide our presentation into three parts. First, the background story of Islamophobia. Second, the divisions of Islamophobia. And the third, the way how to overcome Islamophobia. Islamophobia, which is growing and trending all over the world, gives a deep impressions of anxiety and fear to the Muslim community in the world. But what is Islamophobia? According to the Oxford Dictionary, Islamophobia means intense dislike or fear of Islam, especially as political force like hostility or prejudice towards Muslims. There are several things behind the emergence of Islamophobia in French. First, clash of civilizations. That was a clash of French and Muslim civilizations because their civilizations are different, such as their histories, languages, cultures, traditions, and religions. They are different. Even European countries underestimate Muslim civilization by considering it as primitive, uncivilized, barbaric, rational, and assign inferior values compared to them. Second, existentialism. The existence of Muslim civilization is considered to threaten the principle of secularism in France because the Muslim way of life that shows the religiosity in public and in daily life is very contrary to the principle of secularism. Third, terrorism. The 9/11 terrorist attacks, which happened in New York, inflated tension between French and Islam. Since then, French politicians have been more inclined to emphasize fear-driven views of Islam into society, perpetuating Islamophobia in France.
Hi, I'm Ashof. Islamophobia can be divided into four parts. The first one is discrimination. Discrimination, according to the Oxford Dictionary, discrimination means treating one or more members of a specified group unfairly as compared with other people. Discrimination may be illegal on the ground of sex, sexual orientation, race, religion, disability, and nationality. See also human rights with racial discrimination. And the second is violence. Violence can be divided into two parts, verbally and physically. According to the Collins Dictionary, violence is behavior which is intended to hurt, injure, or kill people. If you do violence or say something with violence, you use a lot of force and energy in doing, saying it often because you are angry. And the third is hate speech. According to Merriam-Webster, hate speech means that it's intended to insult often or intimidate a person because of some trial as race, religion, sexual orientation, national origin, or disability. And the fourth is dissertation. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, dissertation means the action of damaging or saying no respect toward something holy or very much respected. And There are many Islamophobic incidents that happened in France for the past few years. In 2015, Muhammad al-Makrokon was stabbed 17 times to death at home by 28 years old neighbor. He was brutally killed in front of his wife in the same year. A man attacked a Muslim woman wearing a headscarf in Maula on Wednesday with a box cutter after calling her a terrorist. This man was in his 20s at the time. He punched the Muslim woman in the neck and sliced her chest with what is thought to have been a box cutter before he fleeing the scene. Also in this year, a mosque was burned down and Qurans were set alight following matches by Croatian nationalists. They claimed to be acting in revenge for incident that occurred the day prior when two firefighters and a police officer were assaulted in the neighborhood of Jordan the Empire. And in the 2017, a man attempted to drive his vehicle through a crowd gathered outside a mosque in the Paris suburb of Crete on Thursday. Fortunately, no one was wounded in the assault and the driver was arrested at his home a short time later. And then, in 2019, an 84 years old and for her candidate for Front National attacked a mosque in Bayonne, southern France. In this accident, two people aged 74 years and 78 years were seriously injured. Authorities said that he was seeking revenge based on conspiracy theory about the burning of Notre Dame Cathedral. Since he believes the conspiracy theory pointing to the Fingers, the French and Muslim, he later was arrested at his home in Latlandes, Maula. And in this year, in 2020, the French Charlie Hebdo newspaper published satirical cartoon despiting Prophet Muhammad SAW, which has enraged Muslims around the world and renewed provocative reaction for insulting the Prophet Manuel. Proponents agree that Muslims are simply intolerant and devalue freedom of speech. Talking about freedom of speech, I think we have to recognize that with freedom of speech also come a number of duties and responsibilities. Also in the same year, two Muslim women were stabbed repeatedly under the Eiffel Tower by wild female attackers. Dirty Arab, after argument about dogs, the victims have been identified as French women from Algerian background Azganza. 49 years old and Amel, who is a few years younger. This incident amid rising tension in Paris after teacher was beheaded.
Hello, I'm Hasan Sholahuddin and I will explain the material about the ways how to overcome Islamophobia. How to overcome Islamophobia? What are the efforts that can overcome Islamophobia? First, the French government needs to introduce legal measures against Islamophobia and racism activities. Number 2, Muslims must engage in a consciousness-raising campaign about Islam. Islam is often seen as a religion from the East which is considered backwards, does not respect women, violates human rights, and a number of other negative attributes. This stigma emerged as a result of the media being controlled by anti-Islamic parties such as Jews and white supremacists. Seeing these conditions, the media has become a strategic role in building public perception of Islam. So that the way to overcome Islamophobia and negative stigma, the need for cooperation from the Muslim in building positive public perception of Islam through media. Third, true Muslim must describe their faith with passion and moderation. True Muslim must describe their faith with passion and moderation and explain and show that Islam is pursuit of all nonsense and problem compatible with science, democracy, and logic. They must explain that Muslims have no intention of doing away with Christianity and that the Quran praises Christian. They must explain that the mentally cured with terror, slaughter, and suicide attack that is against art, science, and all beauty, and that is hostile to other faiths, derives not from the Islam but from the religious fanatics. Stop. The conclusion: number 1, Islamophobia occurs due to some reasons. Cultural clashes between French and Muslim, existentialism of Muslim which is considered to threaten of the principle of secularism in France, and after the 9/11 terrorist attack which flared tension between two civilizations. Number 2, Islamophobia is divided into 4 parts: discrimination, violence, hate speech, and discretion. There are many incidents recorded because of it. Number 3, there are ways to overcome Islamophobia. This always need government and citizens, especially Muslim citizens, to take the role.